Good evening. I'm going to call the meeting to order for the Board of Parks Commissioners for Thursday, March 7th, 2024. Roll call. Billy Davison. Absent. Christy Isaacson.
Here.
Chris Moxley.
Here.
Elizabeth Ross.
Here.
Mary Salee.
Here.
Cheryl Sheriff. Here. Ellen Usry. Christy Wright.
Here.
Is that that? Okay, first item, consideration of approval, rejection, amended, and/or postponement of minutes from January 11th, 2024 Park Board Special Meeting. Did y'all get a chance to review those? And do you have a motion to approve or reject or amend?
I'll motion to approve.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, minutes have been approved. Discussion items, consideration of approval, rejection, amended, and/or postponement of previously approved council action items. Council actions.
I'll go over these real quick. As you can see, we had a very busy month in February. On the 13th meeting, we did have once again, we're in charge of all building maintenance, so when we have an emergency at one of our buildings, that does fall under the Parks Department with building maintenance, but we had a declaration for emergency repair at the Norman Transit Center of about $124,000. We did end up buying some property for Norman Affordable Housing on the south part of town, southeast part of town. That might be a project that our building maintenance might be involved in as that comes up. A contract between City of Norman and our Norman Art Council for Artful Inlets, which you'll hear more about tonight. We also had a $125,000 put in a capital account for trees, and this was a mitigation agreement because the NextEra that is putting power lines through Norman had to remove some trees on some city property, so they gave us $125,000 in mitigation. So that's capital money that we can use for tree replacement anywhere on city property within the city. We had a resolution for our trail with ODOT. This is kind of going along, connecting a path of Legacy Trail, multimodal path between Tecumseh and Flood up near the airport. This is a Norman Ford project. That was $1.6 million. The state's actually doing that for us, and that's the portion that we're paying them. Proclamation for Earth Day on the 27th. We also had a special events ordinance, which might eventually flow down through parks if we have any filming that takes place in parks. There was an ordinance to that to make us a film-friendly city. We had 2 contracts for snow removal. All snow removal on any city property falls to park maintenance. Congratulations, Wade. Now with the addition of the YFAC and the senior adult wellness, I'm supposed to get shocked every time I say senior, so I apologize. Adult Wellness and Education Center, we want to make sure that we have enough manpower to remove that. We also remove snow from City Hall, the depot. I think this is going to be mainly focused in downtown areas. If we do this, it can be any city property, but we're going to focus on transit, City Hall, adult wellness, and the depot. If we do that, I might have missed a location downtown. Also had this was kind of a funky one if anybody keeps track of city business, but there was a resolution for a public hearing to basically abate a property. This was near Vineyard Park, and you probably ask what that has to do to us. We really don't know, but have a sneaking suspicion this could have been what happened to Vineyard getting set on fire a couple times in the past couple years. This is a house that constantly had police calls out there and problems, and it was a nuisance, correct. Also, our last one right here, which got rejected, would have been a project that we would have built for a $940,000 purchase of property on the north side of town, which could have been a potential location for a homeless shelter. So.
And that's totally off the table now, right?
Yeah, that got rejected, so that is not going to come back up. Any questions about items?
Is that Southeast Development, the one on the other side, this side of Hitachi?
Yes.
Are you asking about the property that they just bought? Where is that
What they
one?
might,
Kind of Inhofe, close to Inhofe Highway 9-ish. They brought some property just to, and it was a finalization of contract. We actually talked about that at a council member or a council meeting previously. It might have been in February or late January, but it's this property that they will eventually build affordable housing on.
Is that
We
the
have a
one at
contract with
Oakhurst that they talked about at the back of, or is
I don't
that
think so.
something else?
That's something completely
Okay.
different.
Do we have to do snow removal at like the old senior center? Ray's shaking his head, yes.
More likely,
It's
it is
like
our
yes.
property. We don't want to be at
Yes.
fault for somebody getting hurt.
You're gonna
going
do with
into
the
it.
property.
It's the
That one is, we have an operation agreement with the
Marietta
Abbott House.
Marietta. And that finally went through. Okay.
Yes, that passed a few months ago.
And that item was just for discussion, so we don't have to vote on that,
No.
right? Okay. Action items. 3, discussion regarding the Artful Inlets program. Do we have a presentation? Okay.
Hi, some of you I know, some of you don't. I'm Michelle Lautenbach, and I'm the Environmental and Sustainability Manager. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Artful Inlets program. I think when I say this, I think I can say it for everyone. It's really a well-loved program. It's a lot of fun. It's a way to educate the public, but also bring in the arts. And it's a great way to collaborate across many departments and many different divisions. So it's exciting, right? All right, so I'm just going to go over a little bit of what the program is, how it got started, where we are. Okay? We hit it? Since you're going to do
You
it.
wanna start here, you wanna start?
All right, so how did we start? Well, the first thing we had to do was establish a partnership. Did we miss a slide?
You hit it.
I did. I hit it too hard. I'm sorry. Yes. So, if you remember Carrie Evenson, some of you guys might remember Dr. Carrie Evenson. She was a stormwater program manager. And when I came on in 2017 as a stormwater program specialist, we had seen some of these beautiful pieces in Northwest Arkansas, and we really wanted to actually do it here in Norman, because what a great place to have that program. It was a little more difficult to get it started, at least just within our siloed area. Luckily, in 2018, 2019, one of the council members became excited about it. And so with the council member champion, we were able to actually get with the Norman Arts Council, with all of our different departments, and get that council support that we needed to make an actual program. It's been pretty exciting. Norman Arts Council was really in. As soon as we brought it to them, they were surprised and excited. And, it went through a lot of iterations on how we would make it work. All right, now I'm ready. Thank you. So we established this partnership, and at the time, the Public Arts Board was still around. So it was between the City of Norman, the Public Arts Board, and the Arts Council. Now it's primarily between the City of Norman and the Norman Arts Council. We had a memorandum of agreement that was assigned. Their initial budget for the entire program was $5,000. Now that's cash budget. That's not in-kind services. We did do some in-kind stuff, like having the staff there and using city equipment, that kind of thing. Lots of meetings. When I say lots of meetings, like I said, we started thinking about it in 2017. We got Kate Bierman. That was the council member who was excited about it and who championed it. She came on 2018, and then we really got it moving so that we could kick off in 2019. The sites were selected by committee. This is the map of the original 5 sites in 2019. It was on Main Street, because what a great place to highlight it. The example in the bottom, that is, there is an Artful Inlet in front of the sea shanty. It's one of the first, it's a water droplet. It was done by Derek Adams, one of our local artists. And this is the design template for what artists get so that they can put their design in. And this was the original setup, okay? And I'm gonna explain why I'm saying that in just a few minutes. But this was the original, and the stipend for the artists was only $400. But they got all the materials, like the paints and things like that. Okay. So what is the artist selection? You know, how do we choose who they are? Well, there's definitely a set of criteria, right? And first and foremost, actually, you know, I have artistic merit, but the very first thing that we check is whether or not they're a Cleveland County artist or whether they've had that already, that interaction with the Arts Council. Then number 2 is the artistic merits. But right next to that is whether they have incorporated the theme, right? The educational theme. So there's messaging and there's always a theme with it. And then, can they do it? You know, here's what we learned, you know, some of the times, the very first time especially, we had some new artists who had never painted. And so time management was a thing. Right, so that, but we learned and we adapted, and that's all you can ask, right? Progress, not perfection. And the selection panel, we meet, we review all of the art, we look at the bios, and that's how we choose it. Okay. The budget now, we each contribute $750 per artist. That's the artist stipend, and then they also get supplies and materials. Why? Well, everything's been inflated, right? Inflation is a thing. And also we found that really surprisingly, these large muralists, as I'm sure you guys know, because you're probably part of the big mural, or at least you've heard about the big mural project that the Arts Council is trying to get going. It's expensive, you know, and they should get paid for their time. And it's hard work. They're 2 full days in the sun on the hard concrete painting, so it's worth it. This year we're going to do 6 new installations. Usually it's 5, but there's an exciting reason why we're doing 6. So I can't wait to tell you about that. Wait, go back. Because we also have 3 renovations, and I'll also explain that. The theme this year is Think Blue, Act Green. No. Okay, so why? Why does it matter about this 6 parks? Well, because I'm so excited about this. We tied it in with the Blue Neighborhood Pilot Project. And you'll like this, Chris. I think you'll like this because having to listen to all that stormwater stuff. But we tied it in to this project. What is this project, Michelle? What do you care about it? Why are you so excited? Well, this is why. Because Lake Thunderbird, which is our drinking water source, right, is impaired. Our city, we know this, right? Everybody knows it's impaired for nutrients and it's impaired for sediment. Well, Blue Neighborhood is going to the one neighborhood within a watershed that has the highest loading, so the highest amount of pollution coming off for nutrients. So in this square mile, you know, we have monitoring stations throughout the watershed because we have to know what's going into our waterways, right? So we can try to prevent some of that and improve our water quality. Well, this is the hottest area. So luckily for us, the city manager said, yeah, this is a great idea. Let's spend some money and do this program. So we've gone to everybody within this square mile being Tecumseh, Rock Creek, Porter, and 12th. Within that square mile, we wrote to every single homeowner and offered them the opportunity to take part in this program. It's a cost share program, an incentive program, if you will, for them to put in either soil amendments like compost, which will help retain stormwater on site. They can do that with or without wildflower seeding, which I always recommend wildflower seeding, right? Natives are nice. Also, they can put in either a rain garden or a pollinator pocket. Wow, right? There's habitat, and there's also treatment for stormwater. Big deal. And then finally, they can also put in rainwater harvesting. Here are the park locations. So there are 3 parks that we identified within that square mile. They're Vineyard Park that you were just talking about. So let's beautify it, right? If it burned, let's make it pretty. We got rid of the bad house, let's put in some good stuff. Sequoia Trail Park and Chisholm's Cattle Trail Park. So these all are throughout that 1 square mile. We have found 2 pieces of infrastructure, of city infrastructure, that would be appropriate for this type of installation in each park. So 6 artists. And it will really, that's why the Think Blue, Act Green theme, all of it ties together. So if we can keep bringing the messaging together like this, then eventually everybody in the city will understand how important it is to protect our resources. Here's the timeline. The call for artists went out on February 15th. The deadline is March 15th. So if you know artists, please talk to them, right? Get out there and tell them. Yeah, I'm looking at you in the back. Because we need those, right? We have 6 new places. March 29th will be the artist selection. April 11th and 12th will be the actual installation. So if you're out and about, come on to the parks and check it out. It's always a good time. I promise you'll see. Finally, we're going to have a celebratory walkthrough. So that's usually with the mayor. In fact, it's going to be the mayor and the city manager both agreed. We usually have press and community members. And then Arts Council provides a little tipple toast at the end. So that's kind of cool, right? Right? Exactly. So please join us. That date, actually, we did find out, and I should have put it in here, is April 15th. I do not have the time yet, but I will pass it on so that they can share it. The pass-
No, sorry.
She'll be drunk by then.
by the 15th?
On the 15th, I'll be busy.
No,
Sorry.
it's tax day, right? Oh, you did? No, that's all right. Afterwards, come out and have a tipple. No, I'm just kidding. So Main Street, we hit Main Street twice. We had two selections on Main Street. Then we went up Legacy Trails. Then we started moving to our wonderful parks, which we love. Lions Park, which is amazing. If you get out there, take a look. It's cool cats, keep it clean, which I love. And then Colonial Estates Park. Will you hit that? I wanted to show you this. This is just, now it's being updated right now. So this is the old one. Pop it up. Is it pulling?
I don't know.
Did you hit it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Okay. Why won't it? There. Yes. Yes. I think you have to hit the.
Come on, Wade.
Michelle, are these on the website anywhere?
I-
So,
yeah.
okay, that's what you're pulling
I'm
up.
hopefully going to show you that.
Okay.
But maybe not.
Mitchell?
I don't know where Mitchell is. Well, all right.
It's showing
If
up
you
on here.
do a Google of Artful Inlet story map, it will pull up the map I'm trying to. Oh, here's Mitchell. We love Mitchell.
Oh. It's on here. You can look at that.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh,
Thank goodness for Mitchell.
all right. Can you make it come down? Do you know how to work it? Because I really want to show you. Yeah, there it is. You see it? It's way over there. Can you do it blind?
Oh, okay, yeah, I see.
From the arrow.
I don't see it.
It's right here.
Where's,
It's
We'll
not
confuse
moving
it.
anything.
oh, you gotta close.
out of right clicking.
Oh, this is
There.
painful.
Is that it over there?
What happened?
Sorry, Mitchell. Sorry, Wade. I didn't mean to do this to you too. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Here you go. I got you.
Artful technicians.
Right?
Now it's working.
Well, and that's, all right, so come over here to the map tour, please.
Maybe. So you're not
Map
be able
tour.
to see it on this. You're on this.
No, the other one. That one, yeah. So if you come, if you do a Google, just hit, okay, and it'll pull up a thing, then you can exit. Okay, if you pull, oh well. Google Artful Inlet Story Map, okay? And then, oh, here we go. So this will take you on a tour of the first 3 years that we have installed. And if you go around to the different locations, because the map will take you, you can pull up all of the different pieces. You can look at the artist bio. You can, you should continue looking through the story map because we also have how the drainage flows for each of the infrastructure and how long it takes to get to the creeks that it goes to. It's pretty cool. So Google it and check it out. It's Artful Inlet Story Map. Like I said, it's being updated, but this is still live, so you can look at the old one until we get it finished. All right, and I think I'm almost done, actually. Woo!
Now we're gonna figure this out again.
Can you do
Oh,
it?
it popped up for you.
Okay. It's on here.
Try to close.
Well, go down and then I'll just, you don't
Go
need
down
to
one.
see the pictures, right? Because I don't think I have any more pictures. Is it not a touch screen?
No, that's what, hold on, there it was.
That would be
Because it
so
showed up.
fun. I've never done
Shit.
anything like
I'm
that.
glad this is on film. It's like,
You never know till you try.
we got like
Right?
Not my laptop, we're confused.
Well, everybody who knows me, and if you don't know, you'll know now, I am definitely not a
we had a
techno
website.
person.
neither is Wade.
He's
I know how to
right.
work my own stuff.
Yeah, he was until
Keep
just.
going.
I blocked
And
That's, you know, the ones on
right
Main
there.
Street.
Okay, so what about the longevity?
info.
We've had these in since 2019. We've had 4 that have had damage enough that either need to be renovated or replaced. One was so damaged, unfortunately, remember I said some of them were new and did not, she layered very thickly on it. I loved it, but unfortunately it wouldn't stay and she could not come back and replace it, so we had to have it redone. And so it's a whole different one. That's the one in front of Benvenuti's. It's got flowers now. It's beautiful. It was beautiful before. It's beautiful now. We do have 3 that are going to be renovated this year. That's Mermaids. That's Water H2 Only by Laura Nelson. It's the black and white. I can't think of. But yeah, isn't it cool? And then it's also Ribbit by the Halls. So that's the frogs if you've seen them outside of the restaurant there. Yes, ma'am.
Are you sharing the information on what provides longevity as to what maybe caused some of the problems?
Yeah, let me tell. Actually, I was gonna.
Cool, sorry.
No, you're good. Oh, man, it's all right.
I didn't even realize.
What
that.
is working and what isn't working? And so what we found on those 3, specifically on Main Street, that did have the big damage, actually was the way the concrete was prepared when it was done. So it's really the newer concrete that was causing a problem with the adhesion with the paint. That's okay, because we found an adaptation, right? So now we can do that again. And it's a change in the paint kind. We've been working with Sherwin-Williams, who's been very helpful with us and, you know, educating us and giving us discounts on paint, that kind of thing. And so we came up with a new blend, and it seems to stick better. Seems to be a better option. So that's a relief, right? And then, surprisingly enough, some of the ones that went in the first go are still shine. It's still really nice, still beautiful. If you've seen Cumulo Nimbus, I love that one. It's the lady with the rain up near Porter on Main Street. It still looks great. Choose Wisely, which has the fire pipe. You know, but they all still look really good. So we're pretty excited about these next 6. And I really do hope you will come out while we're installing them on the 11th and 12th, or at the very, very least, come out for the walkthrough. Even if you can't, then think about us while we're doing it.
Oh, I will.
And with that, I'll take any questions or comments.
So I guess the paint isn't toxic or anything that can
No,
chip up
ma'am.
and go down in the storm
So
drain.
that's one of the big things. It doesn't have any of the So you probably know that back in the day, right, some of the paint had lead in it. It had other types of. So the kind that we're working with Sherwin-Williams is actually pretty safe in terms of it going in. You know, you never want anything, right? I've said this, I'm going to say it again, only rain down the drain. But as things go, it's pretty harmless. Yeah. And then, and this, you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you. We do definitely protect all stormwater infrastructure when we're cleaning off or prepping and priming and when they're painting, so none of the wet stuff or any of the dirty stuff gets into the drain.
That's great to educate the artists too in future projects that they think, hey, I wonder if my stuff could flow somewhere.
No, it is.
That's-
We talk and actually. So I won't name any names, but yes, in fact, because that's one of the things we do when the installation is talk to the artists. With public comes, we talk to the public, that kind of thing. And so anyway, while we're doing that, yeah, one of the artists said, "Oh, you know, I used to just dump my." Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They were also a potter, and so I don't know if you know, but I guess when you make pottery, you have like slag water, and they would just dump it out. But now I don't do that because I learned. So you're right, Mary. It's a thing.
Michelle, can I ask you, and I might have missed it, when you said it's going to those 3 parks, are these like areas in front of the parks?
Yes, they are.
Okay,
I'm
I
glad you
didn't know
asked. There are storm drains actually in these, and that's why we chose these locations. There are actual curb and gutter drains that we can
Okay.
go around.
Okay.
Oh, and that was the one thing I forgot to tell you. So we also learned that adaptability, right? Not everywhere do we have this great 10-foot by 4-foot whatever canvas. So we've learned that we can adapt. And the way we do that is we let the artists know if we find something that's not typical. If they want to come, and in fact, all artists are invited 2-3 days before, or actually probably a week before, to come out and look at the site and make sure they know where they're putting their piece. but they can adapt it to fit the size. If you walk down Legacy Trail, you'll actually see this. There's a Chase Spivey, so another artist, one of the artists, did the bridge, and it's got the it's the message is the medium, but it's mandala. That's what they call it. And then also, if you keep going down that trail, you'll see an area drain, and that's another Laura Nelson, and it swirls around like it's going in. Anyway, sorry, I can keep talking. I won't. Any other questions? All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank
That's
you.
your show.
Awesome.
I think they're gonna step into a hall. Okay. We'll be moving on to reports. And, annual report from Westwood Tennis.
Oh, it does? I remember reading about it when it
Yeah,
started, so I
if you go
can't
down
say.
there, please.
You don't need to vote about it.
I don't know if we got like a little, just a little
Snippet.
blurb.
All right, Westwood Tennis had another really good year in 2023. I can send you up. 12 tournaments, junior, high school, USTA tournaments. Brought over 300 kids into Norman from all over the Missouri Valley, which is like a 7-state region, up to Iowa. We have 14 teaching pros now on staff, 12 courts, 2 indoor courts, and we have a waiting list. So it's busier than ever, which is great. And the March junior clinics right now are full. They went to capacity where we have a waiting list for that too. So things are good there. Warm body count, which I turn into Carla every month. 2023 was the highest it has ever been, mostly because of the indoor courts and just the crowd. That number's doubled since 2018,
Wow.
which is pretty awesome. About 40,000 people. So let's see. Some of the programs we run that I think are interesting: junior clinics, anywhere from age 3 to 18. Junior team tennis is where Westwood will put a competitive team at each age group, and we play other clubs throughout the state. Go up to Edmond, they come here, and vice versa, up to Tulsa sometimes too. Cardio tennis, we got a big TV screen, not that big, but about half that. The adults wear monitors, for heart rate and calorie burn, and have all these fun awards that click out through the software. Do that for juniors as well. Homeschool clinics during the day. Middle school tennis practices. So there's 2 teams. One feeds into Norman High, one feeds into Norman North. 2 schools each, and they both practice at Westwood. They take the top 4 courts. One of them does Monday, Wednesday. The other one does Tuesday, Thursday. So it's about 60 kids a day up there. Pretty chaotic. Terra Verde started a program, pretty instrumental in that. We provided a coach and we allowed them to use our courts, which worked out great. They're having a team this year again, competing in tournaments. Tennis on Campus we host. It's an OU club team that travels to play other clubs. They just went up to Springfield, Missouri for a sectional championship. Didn't make it to nationals, but finished 6th, and the top 3 go to nationals, so out of 16 teams. So. Adult leagues, we had about 60 matches. Those are adult teams, usually of 8 or 6 players, depending on the age, that come into play. Either our teams in Norman or just meet at Westwood to play. Customers range in age from 3 to 88. Carol McConnell, if you know her, is 88 now. I teach her every Tuesday. I teach her. 2023, highest number of unique players. So we have a lot of repeats, but I always try to attract new players. So the unique number of clinics and adult drills was the highest we've ever had. Hosted a blood drive for OBI in our indoor courts. And then we had several fundraisers where we raised money and gave all the money to food and shelter. That's about all I got. This staff's great. They kind of see my vision of how, stay on par or get ahead of our competition. I think James has some exciting stuff after I go about Norman Forward. Got all new windscreens in 2023. Thanks to Jason for approving that. Huge difference. Those are a battle. Gosh, there's one that's almost.
Blowing, right?
What's that?
Now if we can get the wind to quit blowing.
Yes, there's one that's almost already shredded. It's a battle, but we do our best with that. yeah, just thanks. One of the nicest facilities in the state, so excited to keep it that way.
A windscreen is,
Windscreens, wind block. It's basically a fabric that blocks wind for players.
for the outdoors.
Yeah, yes, for outdoors.
So when you're driving by on Robinson and you see all the black screening that's on the fencing, that's the windscreens he's talking about. And we even got a few logoed ones, I think, that was
Yeah, court
facing
8
out.
and 9, yeah,
towards it.
those look great,
And you
yeah.
also see all the little tennis balls in the gutter on Robinson, too.
Yeah, we tell the kids hit them that way, but when they start rallying, it's fun to hit them in the street, I guess. Yeah, try to manage that. Question?
What is your capacity challenge when you, like you say, we've got people on a wait list? Is it just instructors? Is it
Yes.
space?
Yeah,
or
we
both?
have 5 full-time, and the other 9 are, 2 are getting their masters at OU, students, college
Sure.
students.
Sure.
We even have a high school girl that's teaching for us. She's top 50 in the nation, very good, but just a great person. So we have her with like the 5 and unders. So yeah, time and schedule, and then getting courts. You know, we have 2 indoor courts. So the last 3 months is the hard part. You know, we're not fighting over courts, thankfully. We have a plan, but yeah, it's hard to get a court. So we don't take on a lot of new lessons. You know, in the chance that we have 2 courts, we don't like canceling a lot, but that's kind of part of it. Maybe we'll get more indoor courts. That's a subtle hint. He'll talk about that. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
Any other comments, questions? Thank you, Mark.
No, thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
Kudos,
No.
kudos, I mean.
Oh, no,
kudos.
that's exciting. It really is. Stop by and see us.
Norman Forward update.
Just a few items for Norman Ford. We did have our art dedication out at YFAC and our ribbon cutting on February 19th, right? Kind of blurred. We had a great crowd. We had about 600 or so people that showed up. Good ceremony. Got a lot of great news coverage off of it. I think every news station covered it. We had our front page of the Oklahoman the following day, and unfortunately Trey was not able to make it. He prioritized his family over us, which we were
Goodness.
still, yeah.
How dare he?
Yeah, I know, but he did make a video for us, and anybody that came, we did a great job of integrating the big screen behind us, along with everything, and we wanted to set up and show the people that it's not only a large basketball place, but it'd be a great place to host events. And we've been working with everybody from the OSSAA with the big screen that they're planning on hosting their computer games. What the heck they go? Esports. Thank you. State championships at YFAC in towards the end of this year, November, December range. We also had a recent conversation with the Oklahoman about hosting their high school awards out there. They were pretty impressed with the setup. So we think that we're going to start getting some cool events, and you can integrate a lot of different things with there. The hospital space is now fully operational. We were hoping to have the pool open by Monday the 11th. It looks like there's a few things that's kind of set in our, came up, but hopefully by the end of next week, the pool will open. We will have member-only times that start the week of the 18th. And we'll have more early morning times and late evening times as we try to coordinate everything, and then have open community times, not charging anybody for that month. So if you sign up to become a member at that point, you'll be able to come through there and do some swimming or gym activities, pickleball or basketball or some of the classes we have available in there during the member-only times. And we'll still try to have some open community times like we promised, at least 100 hours per week.
Per year.
Per year. 100 hours per week would be a lot. My bad. Thank you for that correction, Cheryl.
I was like, wait a minute.
And so, great event. I think the other things that we have going on, Bentley Park is still moving along. Our basketball courts, tennis courts, and pickleball are near completion. Now we're kind of wrapping up with everything with starting the shelter here pretty quick.
That's done. Trails was a big thing to come next. The walking trails and the final site furnishings and the sign. The
Yes.
Lionel Bentley Memorial plaque and bust is done. But we are looking for a substantial piece of rock to mount it on, so Judd's working with us on that to wrap up the Bentley family donation.
And we're kind of looking for a spring opening of that. We'll make sure that we'll inform everybody once we get all that set in place, and we'll have a cool public opening for that park. And at Falls Lakeview and Sunrise Park, we are have ordered playgrounds. We're just going on this next council agenda, and we'll get those ordered and hopefully installed within a few months after making the order. And thank goodness our Norman Ford stuff is starting to slow down a little bit. Our bandwidth are growing to do other things. I think that you'll see us start meeting with Saxon ad hoc committee here pretty quick. And besides that, we're have a park master plan and other things that now we're opening bandwidth for our staff to do, so we can start doing things besides Norman Ford projects, which is haven't been able to do that in the past 2 or 3 years. So it's kind of nice to get a little bit open time to do that kind of stuff with.
Do we have any information about the art piece yet?
Which
At all?
okay, so we were talking about that today. Veronica, you got-
Yeah, I talked to Aaron Gavigan last week, and the art piece is being shipped currently to the United States from Australia. We have had an American engineer stamp and say it's A-OK to be put in place, so we will be working on the concrete base very shortly, and then I believe it has to go in pieces on a boat, so it'll take quite a bit of time to get here.
Or about from China?
But
I think we're pouring the footer for this next week.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, and there will be some really nice, part of why we chose this artist from Australia was he had an educational and community involvement impact to every project he does. And so that's part of the piece of this artwork, and he'll be coming with the piece at some point to do some kind of community outreach and education with it, and we hope that involves all generations, and it'll be a really fun experience to install it and celebrate it. So.
Was it always gonna be a butterfly?
It's an 18-foot flower,
flower.
with a butterfly. There's a butterfly
That's what I
attached
thought. It
to
was
it.
like a,
There is a
oh,
butterfly
okay.
on
It's
it.
a sunflower. kind of.
It's not
It's
sunflower.
all
Daisy or
multicolored, I
Like a
thought.
dahlia or something.
Yeah, it seems like more of a dahlia, but I don't know if it's,
Okay.
what kind of flower it is. But there's a butterfly attached to it.
Okay,
Yes.
They showed a picture of it. We did a tour this week, and all I could see is the butterfly, and I kept thinking, I thought it was supposed to be a flower,
Yeah.
and wondered if they changed.
Nope, no changes.
Both.
2,300 members out at Adult
Adult.
Wellness.
Wow.
Just crossed that mark this week.
Did you ever find out how many come through a day?
No, that's a good question. I did not find that out.
Because these numbers are
Are
just,
outrageous,
I
yeah.
was saying something
and so
about
I'm just
parking
curious about,
Not being enough.
Yeah, they are serving a maximum of 60 people for lunch every day through Aging Services, and that maximum is being reached on a daily basis. So the hours between 11 and 1 are very difficult to park right now. Jason has put a request through the budget process to expand parking, and so if that should get approved, then we will go through a process to design and, of course, make that happen. But also, there will be some changes to how the hospital uses the parking around there at the end of July, so we anticipate that kind of clearing up and getting some help pretty shortly through both of those options.
Some overflow into the,
Yeah.
so they don't keep like a tab?
I'm
of
sure that they
how-
do. I'm sure
Okay.
that they do. I will get
Yeah,
that
yeah.
information to you.
You have
Yes.
to check in when you come in.
You
so-
gotta
Yeah.
Yeah,
ding your
I
little,
figured.
ding your little
I don't know
card so
why,
they have
I'm
an
just
account.
sort of fascinated by how many, because these numbers
Yeah,
is really awesome.
and I think they're at 6,000 plus in Oklahoma City, so I think their bandwidth is still, we were over there for our monthly meeting about 3 o'clock today, and there's plenty of, depending on what time you go, there's still plenty of open. Like I said, the busiest hours are in the morning and around lunch, early morning and around lunch, so you just have to, there are available times for them to go. For people
I'm
to
just
go.
already
Yeah.
thinking about expansion. So, you know, that's,
I'll find out. I will definitely let you know. That's an interesting factor.
Yeah, I went to do a day, like a pay to go in for the day, but I did it in the evening. There was a class I was interested in, and it was a lot more empty. I mean, there were still people there, but I mean, I had the place, I could have gone and like swam and, well, assuming these things were open, swam and done my weights and done, I mean, I could have just taken, there was no way to do anything.
We have our-
Late afternoon, the pool's pretty much empty-ish, and then it picks back up about 5, 6. There was a guy in there talking that said that there's 1 or 2 men in the morning classes usually, but he said that there was like 12 men in the class he went to the other day in the evening. So,
And we have our AIM meetings over there once a month, and it is fascinating how you, those start at around 6:30, and we get in there, and the center is full. It's not, the parking lot, it's not packed, but it is interesting to see, even at night, the classes have 20 people in them, and there are people going all hours of the day.
I'm just
really cool.
liking this very much. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm just curious.
Today, the health department was there giving COVID vaccinations. So there's lots of great partnerships already happening. It's great.
I missed that. Of course, I had my COVID shot, so I didn't need one, but I was there this morning.
I sent an email to Catherine about the possibility of getting a piano near the stage, and sent her a picture and some quotes, maybe for a rental. I don't know if they could write a grant or anything, but I haven't heard back from her.
Okay. I will talk
She
to her.
said they
about
hadn't really explored the performing arts, but evidently Cimarron Opera Company is doing something in there this weekend
that.
on the stage.
Oh, really?
You're not up with opera news?
No. No. They didn't mention that today. We got a lot of things going on.
Any other questions about Norman Forward items? Divisional updates.
I will be happy to go first. So Jason already talked to you about our Young Family Athletic Center community open house period of time, as well as our member-only hours. To define some of those classes he was talking about, we've got open lap walking, which has been pretty popular. People coming from, there's a big group of people that walk indoors at the mall when weather's bad, and so we are getting some of those folks interested in coming and walking in WIFAC, which is really nice.
The floor would be a lot easier on your knees than walking at the
Will
mall.
that be for member only, though?
Right now, we've got community open house hours,
Okay.
open lap walking Monday 9 to 11, as well as Thursday 9 to noon. So come
What's
check
the
it out.
distance?
That's
It's
a
about
great
0.2
question.
miles around.
0.2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So five laps is a mile.
Almost a quarter of a mile then. Okay.
So we've got, like I said, lap walking, pickleball going on, pickup basketball. We've got some recreational, and then also senior pickleball. So pickleball is one of those games that lots of people want to learn.
Where's the pickleball?
The pickleball is on top, overlaid over the courts. We have indicator lines, so we actually tape the pickleball courts down when we
Okay.
do pickleball.
And bring out the nets.
So is that what those square, like pieces of wood are that don't match the other wood?
No,
No.
those are electrical
covers.
boxes. They're gonna eventually get painted. We had to have somebody come in there and
Oh, those
custom
are,
build
okay.
those.
Like, I thought it was part volleyball. or
Those
something.
will all match
Yeah,
eventually.
sooner or later, we get our floor contractor back out there.
Yeah. So if you are someone who wants to learn pickleball, like everyone else in the world right now, come and learn it at
So
Wi-Fi.
when are they gonna have regular pickleball out there?
They will. They're working on that right now with a couple of different groups. We don't have exactly when that schedule will be. We're really testing out a lot of different open gym activities, working with local groups to see, who wants to come in, who doesn't have space, and then right now, we're working on finalizing all the schedules with those groups and figuring out how the weekday will work. Yeah.
We do have a RFP out for pickleball, outdoor pickleball, and depending on the pricing, because we do have a little bit of leftover remainder money. If we can fit that in the budget, we'll do 6 courts outside as well.
You need any leftovers for more parking?
Not enough for that.
You have co-share agreement with?
They did, We tried to get one with Embassy Suites, and they preferred not to have one. They said they want to see how the first year goes.
So maybe they won't be the preferred hotel for tournaments.
So if we parked at Embassy Suites and walked over, we could possibly get towed.
No, they
Not gonna do that.
They have agreed to let people park there for the first year without a contract.
Just no contract right
Yeah,
now.
they didn't want.
And so
they-
no promoting it.
Talking to their general manager is very complicated, getting stuff through their corporate office, and he was having a little kickback from their attorney. So he said, let's try this out for a first year and find out if we even need a contract. I'm guessing with a couple of our events, they probably would prefer to have one at some point.
Is there gonna be basketball tournament or anything going on when the swimming, I think they've got a swim meet coming up, don't they?
They do have a swim meet coming up, April 5th, I believe it is.
Just didn't know if it's gonna be,
It's possible that they might have two events going on at
It's
the same time.
possible.
You should track your sales before and after.
They should.
We,
I bet
so,
their occupancy and their sales go way up at the Embassy.
so, Chris, kind of like you know, you have a green kid playing, I have my kid playing. We went out almost every single time on Thursday nights for dinner, and it's interesting talking. We went to a variety of different places, but it's interesting to talk to those restaurants. Like when you tell them you see the kid comes in with a Y-Fac, they're like, "Wow, we've been unexpectedly busy on all these weeknights," and it has to do with this Y-Fac thing, and I think it's starting to spill over, and those restaurants are pretty happy with what's going on out there.
It's even spilling into downtown.
I can't
A
get them,
friend of
so
mine
now
was
it's hitting
saying
me why.
He
Yes.
said they've got big groups in after the tournaments.
Visitors, yeah.
Yeah, good.
It's exactly
Filling
what
up
we
his
wanted.
filling up his restaurant. Had his biggest day ever.
That's cool.
well, I guess Embassy Suites, somebody posted a picture and there was like 8 school buses in the parking lot and
Yeah,
is
that had
it
nothing
from the
to do
state
with us.
tournament? Okay, I did, and then somebody said, well, they're practicing at the YFAC and
We did have a few of the state tournament teams practicing at the Y-Fac, was staying in Embassy Suites, but the school buses are not
Yeah.
for our events, but we
Did they
did let
have
them
to-
practice.
did they pay?
We waived the practice because we didn't have any membership stuff going on during the day, so we let them practice. If it's in the future, we'll probably work out an agreement. It's kind of nice to show off your cool,
Oh, yeah.
cool new tool to people from all over the state.
Create some buzz, more buzz.
So this community open house hours and member-only hours will run separately on a different schedule through April 1st, at which point we anticipate moving over to our fully open schedule, and then we'll start charging for memberships. That is our plan for now. Yeah, and regarding the first swim meet, it is early April, and we've yet to see really a huge overflow into that Embassy Suites lot. So at some point, it'll be interesting to see if we can build a culture of people using it. And
I think the most that we've heard from the hospital is that first basketball tournament we had. They said that probably about 60 to 70% of the back parking lot was taken. They still had room for people to park. There's 1,700 total parking spots. at
Back
the Embassy
parking
Suite.
lot? But in the back of the building?
Yeah.
But you can't get in back there, right?
Into the embassy?
Oh, no, you gotta walk to the front.
Oh, I
No.
thought you
Yeah.
were at the back of the.
We're talking about the back part of the
Okay.
Embassy Suites.
But yeah, you can't get into the back, can't get into the building from back there, which is kind of a bummer, but.
On open league nights, we had the doors are still not fully operational, because they still have to be hooked up to access control, so we're having problems getting those doors unlocked, and we were trying to prop them up open. We figured that out after the first couple of weeks with everybody's parking the embassy and going to those south doors, they were locked, so we were propping it open. That'll be fixed as soon as our access control problems get fixed. Growing pains.
yes, indeed. Okay, other things going on in recreation. We, of course, have a spring break camp coming up, both at 12th Avenue and Whittier. Still some space in those, and that happens March 15th, and then the 18th through the 22nd and the 25th, all of the school's out time. For our lovely springtime events, also, we have a wonderful egg hunt that is loved in Andrews Park, and we'll be doing that on March 29th. But before that, we've got a really cool event coming for adults. We're calling the Extreme Hunt 5K. So this is a 5K fun run and egg hunt for adults. Ruby Grant Park, adults of all ages, really. I mean, everybody wants to hunt for eggs. So bring the kids to the 5K too, and then make sure you come to the egg hunt at Andrews. Come to both. But that's March 23rd at Ruby Grant Park. And of course, that's on our normal course there, and you can choose to have a timed or untimed experience there. We have a 1 mile course that goes around the Foster Walking Trail, and then of course the 5K through the cross country course. So excited for that. And then let's see what else. An out of school day camp, April 19th is coming up, of course, for the professional day. And then of course, Mom Prom, which we'll tell you about every time. Come to Mom Prom at the Noun. This is our second year doing it at the Noun, and we are excited to have another really elevated, nice event for moms. And I'm excited to see who comes to our 21 and up black dance, the last dance of the evening. We've got 3 sessions for that one, and it was just such a fun experience to see moms coming out with, big groups of their friends or their own mom or whoever they brought. It was a great time. So we do have a 21 and up session for that. If you want to bring your friends to Mom Prom, please do it. That is May 4th, Saturday.
May the 4th be with you.
That's right. That's right. While the boys are celebrating Star Wars Day, we'll celebrate Mom Prom. And then, of course, summer camp registration is open. So if you've got folks that need summer camp care, let us know. We're open at 12th Avenue, Whittier, and Irving.
Is that all?
That's all.
I'm repeating some of the things we touched on to some degree. We're working on our park system master plan, and also we have a park subsection of the Plan Norman, I believe this month. They currently have the park questions up on the AIM Norman site, so do what you can to help spread the word and give some feedback on the parks for that effort.
Get any questions. There was all this information, and I would click buttons, and there would just be more information.
Should be a link on our Facebook directly
I
to the
should do that.
questionnaire.
I'll go to that.
Just go to the parks.
I'll go to that.
Guys, get your own
I went to AIM.
website.
Yeah, we do have our own website for a few of the things, but the Norman Parks one is tied into the city one.
But you've got so much stuff that you're doing now, it's really,
I've heard about it
Need
different
your own.
ways.
I mean, I'm just,
So that's happening.
because you've got all the new stuff. I mean,
Well, heck yeah.
It's good to be popular.
yeah.
Like you talked about, the new park at Bentley is on its way, and we'll keep you updated when it's going to be ready. And the Sunrise and Falls Lakeview Historic House, been doing some cosmetic work over there on the front porch, and then going to get a rebid the rest of the house painting project. Coming up as the weather breaks. Our forester's been doing a lot of winter tree care, winter tree planting, and working with Davy Resource Group on the tree ordinance review and hiring them for a public property tree inventory to help guide some of the things we're going to do for an urban forest master plan. So that's a long process. He, along with our park planner, worked on actually creating raised garden beds at 12th Avenue in time for the spring break camp. So they're going to start their community gardening project over there. Westwood, we had received proposals last Friday. We're doing a master plan for Westwood Golf and Tennis, essentially. We have the new aquatic center on one side, you have the indoor tennis from Norman Forward 1. Well, you sort of the piece in the middle, the elephant in the room is the 60-year-old golf clubhouse and old tennis facility clubhouse. So we're looking for ways to reimagine that because we got the cart facility and maintenance yards right there at the front door. So we've got some great proposals from architects to, much like we did with Andrews Park and brought it through everybody, to master plan the not redesigning the golf course. That's 100% not what we're doing. So to be clear, some of our submitters were like, "Are we doing a golf course renovation?" No. But to reimagine that experience, but hopefully be able to create some social space too. So one of the things maybe create revenue by having Norman desperately needs more rental party room type stuff because they're all booked all the time. So create some amount of that. And
It is possible that we have included our our driving range, putting green, chipping.
Yeah, a
green,
little-
And that, so if they can somehow figure out a better flow from the clubhouse to those features.
The mesh
we're open
point
for that.
from the clubhouses into the courts. And same thing with tennis. Say we get rid of the old tennis clubhouse, there's room to, with that and some of the remaining green space and maybe moving the ambulance barn and things, you can add more indoor pickleball or tennis like Mark was saying, maybe help to keep that growing in tennis mode too. So golf and tennis are both kind of getting a, like I said, we're reviewing proposals, we'll be interviewing firms next week and hopefully getting to council soon with a contract to do some master planning out there. Reeves Park, we're just doing stuff, finishing up the old Norman Forward projects and things. New restroom will be out to bid soon for the non-Norm Forward area over by the playgrounds. We tore down the old restroom, it was a nightmare. We have a new one designed and ready to go here soon. We had to do some changes to the way they had the heaters and things spec'd in for them, but and helping Optimus get themselves ready to play ball. They're already playing ball soon over there, so we're helping them some of the field stuff. They got a new grounds crew and they're working. It's not our event, but the medieval fair happens in Reeves Park. So soon, at the end of this month, March, somewhere at the end of March, we'll be changing the robot from a baseball robot to a medieval knight robot. So Wade's guys will help us get that done. We have the Knight's helmet and sword stored at our facility, so we'll switch them out.
I saw y'all painted the picnic benches in Reeves, or Wade's crew.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sad the blue's gone.
We can
Very
use it
sad.
next year.
We do it all the time.
We just rotate. We have a group that we keep at the shop, and then we'll bring those in. We'll bring the ones that were out there, fix them up, put new wood on them, paint them, and then next year we'll flip them again.
Do the blue.
Okay.
It's great for pictures.
And just other stuff. So a lot of planning efforts, eating up a lot of time and doing a lot of things like that. So, and projects all over the place.
Lots going on.
And you?
We are transitioning kind of from our winter projects. We finished a couple of big ones up this week. We had some kid space items going on where we had a post. One of the main support posts for the swing set had started to kind of settle down in the ground and was sinking. So we replaced that. We went out there, replaced that. Another support beam was struggling, so we had to order. Those are all special cut wood pieces that are dripped in some oil that conserves from being able to rot, but they do apparently still get in there after so many years. Actually, Kid Space reaches its 25th anniversary this year, and we think it's still the oldest Kid Space from that time frame still in use. So we've had a couple of projects out there we've replaced. We've got a couple other playground items that we're trying to get fixed. We irrigated over the winter, as weather permitted, irrigated 2 of the flag football fields at Ruby Grant, which was a pretty big undertaking. Redid some bridges. We redid a bridge at Castle Rock recently. That took a little bit of time. It was deteriorating.
Yep.
And now
That's
we're
good.
starting to do some weed spraying and starting to get the mowers out and that type of fun stuff.
Big time for mosquitoes.
Earlier than you wanted to, with all the hot weather.
It has been unseasonably warm. Not warm enough for the grass to turn green yet, but warm enough for the weeds to start going. So
Yeah.
Little sprigs of grass starting to
a
come
little
up.
bit, yeah, this week starts
Yeah,
to
but lots
see.
of weeds already.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming they're preparing out at Reeves with all the flags, for digging. Out there by the benches and timber.
That's a Public Works project, expanding.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Expanding,
Jenkins widening.
I figured it was with the Jenkins widening,
And
but I
That
didn't.
roundabout that goes,
So how is it? I guess they just flag all the way
yeah,
for
Oh, yeah.
It's
a
just a
while
locate-
out
just
or
locating it.
something.
Located.
yeah, and they're undergrounding some of those power lines that are
Uh-huh.
over there.
Okay.
There's a roundabout going in there?
Over by the softball stadium, yeah.
Where Imhoff and
Constitution.
Constitution don't line up, it'll roundabout itself a little better.
Any other questions, comments? Any miscellaneous items?
I want to hear a report from the Mystery Dinner Theater, how much money it made.
I have no idea. That's we had a great time. But that's their business, not mine. I'm just there to entertain people.
Well, the Sooner Theater, I mean, it's a fundraiser for Sooner Theater.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know how much money they make doing it, but I know that it was sold out so much, so early that we actually did a preview night on Wednesday, which we've never done before. So we might move it to 4 nights instead
Some
of.
of us paid for clues that night just to contribute anyway.
Oh yeah, well we were certainly there to milk the crowd for that extra fundraising. We pointed it out. It's like, but no, we appreciate everybody coming. It was a good time.
Next year, we might warn everybody like a few weeks before at the Parks Board meeting, so we could buy tickets.
I'm telling you, it was an inside job. I think Andy Rieger sold about half of those tickets himself
Nice.
because he wrote the show. So I'm telling you, he skewed the numbers.
Tonight or something.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. They'll never miss an opportunity. When you're a 501c3, you always take advantage of the opportunity to make that nonprofit money.
Seeing how we have nobody here for public comments, we are adjourned.
Yay. Thank you.